Hello everyone, welcome to Honors Geometry. I am Mrs. Ryan. I'm going to be your teacher this year. I am actually going to be on maternity leave for first semester though, so you will have a maternity leave sub, and the sub will give you her email, and you can email her throughout first semester. I will not be responding to emails during my maternity leave. So this is what our classroom looks like. We have our assignment board and our seating, which may be changed around a little bit. And then our focus, we're going to talk about growth mindset this year and learning from our mistakes. And then we are going to be learning with the Common Core State Standards. So it is very important that you have a growth mindset this year. Because if you do end up not doing so well on a test this year, you do have the opportunity to retake it under certain circumstances. So in order to have a growth mindset, you need to be able to make mistakes and learn from them. Value your growth over your grades. We're going to be doing some group work this year, so you will need to be willing to work together. I will be giving you a lot of challenges this year, so you will need to persevere through them, so that means not give up. And then we're not going to compare ourselves to others because everybody learns differently and everybody learns at different rates. So here are some qualities of being a great learner, which is my expectations in the syllabus. So here are my expectations of you. I need you to be responsible. So you're going to work with students that allow you to learn and minimize your distractions. So put your cell phone away when you're doing homework at home, and make sure that you're not in a busy location in your house when you're doing your homework. And then don't rush through your assignments. Take your time, because the only way that you're going to do well on the test is if you fully understand your assignments. Number 2, I want you to invest in yourself. So what that means is I want you to advocate for yourself, speak up for yourself. If you have a question, make sure to ask questions. And also set aside time to work on math at home. That also should say use your class time wisely as well. I need you to use your class time wisely so that way you can maximize the class time so that way you don't have a lot to take home with you. Number 3, I want you to be prepared. So that means to have all materials ready before the bell rings. And when you are taking a test, make sure to study the night before or a couple of nights before. Actually, if you study frequently over time, that actually is a lot better than cramming and studying the night before. And we'll talk about materials on the next slide. Number 4, I also want you to be respectful. So that means to stay engaged during class. I want you to use your Chromebook for education only. Stay honest and keep your answers to yourself, unless you're working on group work. But group work does not mean that you are letting somebody copy off of you or copying off of somebody else. It means you're working together. So if you know how to do a problem and somebody else in your group does not, you are teaching them how to do that problem and not just letting them copy off your paper. And then lastly, I want you to stay positive, be kind to yourself and others always, and also have fun this year. So here are the things that you need to bring to my class every single day. Your Chromebook fully charged, a binder and folder to organize your materials, and you can organize them in a way that makes sense for you. So maybe you want to organize them by standard. Maybe you want to organize them by having your notes in the front and then your worksheets in a separate section and then your test in a separate section and your retake requirements in a separate section. It's up to you. Do what you feel is best. Do what makes sense to you. Because not everybody's organizational skills will work for you. So I want you to do something that works for you. Number 3, I need you to bring pencils to class every day. Number 4, a calculator. Number 5, your notes package should be brought to class every day. And number 6, your headphones, just in case I give you class time to work on your Edpuzzle videos. So formative Formative assessments, these should be done in class, and then you should take at least 30 minutes at home to do these as well. You can work together with other students on the group work, and then there's certain things that I will have you do that are individual work. And then you can also use your notes to help you. Formative assessments do not count as part of your grade. However, in order to do a retake on a test, you need to have all of your formative assessments done for that standard by the initial test date. So let's say that your test date's tomorrow, and you come tomorrow and you have a missing assignment that you did not turn in the next day. Then you would not receive the opportunity to do a retake. So if you do poorly on that test, you don't have that opportunity. However, you can turn in your formative assessments, you can turn them in late up until the day of the test, okay? And when I say up until the day of the test, that means when you arrive to class, you need to turn them in before you take the test, all right? And even though formative assessments do not count as part of your grade, your brain's a muscle. It needs some exercise. So you do need to spend some time practicing the material in order to help your brain learn the material. So these are the following formative assessments. So you guys are going to be given Edpuzzle videos this year. These are done at home only. And you are going to be taking detailed notes over Edpuzzle videos. There may be times during class at the end of class where I say that you can start your Edpuzzle video, but then your homework is to finish or complete the entire Edpuzzle video at home and take detailed notes. While you're taking detailed notes of your Edpuzzles, you're going to write down any questions that you have so that way you can come to school the next day and ask the teacher. These will be marked as complete or missing in Infinite Campus, so your parents and guardians can determine whether or not you did the Edpuzzle videos at home. And then you're going to get a worksheet to do during class that practices what you learned in the Edpuzzle video the previous night. And on that worksheet, you will have circled problems and non-circled problems. The circled problems will be done in groups, and these groups will be assigned to you. If you do not finish the circled problems with your group, then you do still need to finish the circled problems at home. Once your group finishes the circled problems, then and only then may you have one student in your group open up the Chromebook and check the answer key that's posted on Canvas. However, you do need approval from the teacher to open your Chromebook to see what the correct answers are. And they need to check to make sure that you have done all the circled problems. After you're done with the circled problems in your group, you will then close your Chromebook and you will now split up from your group and you will work on your individual work, which is the non-circled problems on your worksheet. And if you don't finish the non-circled problems, then you need to finish them at home. And you may check the answers to the non-circled problems only when you are finished with the entire worksheet. When you check your problems, if you get any incorrect, you need to go back and try them again because that's the only way that you're going to learn from your mistakes. And if you don't know how to do the problem after you see the answer key, you can ask the teacher for help. Now, the worksheets are going to be marked as complete or missing in Infinite Campus so your parents or guardians can see whether or not you did your classwork, your worksheets to practice the material. Summative assessments. These are only done in class, they're done alone, and they're done without your notes. These are tests. Tests are 100% of your grade, and you get one retake opportunity only per standard as long as your retake requirements are met. We'll talk about retake requirements as well. So standards-based learning, we are going to be learning different standards in geometry, just like we did in algebra last year. Here are our modules or our units. And so you can read through them yourself. And there's multiple standards in each of these. And so we are going to be starting with Module 1, Geometric Transformations, and there's 2 standards in that one. And we'll move on to the next one. Infinite Campus and Canvas. So Infinite Campus can be used to find your current grade and what assignments are missing, and Infinite Campus should be checked weekly by both you and your parent or guardian. Canvas can be used to find current and upcoming assignments and extra copies of everything. Canvas also hosts all of my answer keys for the worksheets. So when you are done with your group work and individual work, you can go on Canvas to check your answers. Canvas should be checked daily. It is your responsibility to ask questions when you do not understand something. Please make sure that you are advocating for yourself. If you are absent, any work that was due the day you were gone will be due upon your return. You are expected to keep up with your assignments that are assigned when you are gone by checking Canvas and completing the work that is assigned, especially if it is an unexcused absence, and vacations are unexcused. You are responsible for all work that's assigned during your absence. Students that miss a summative will take the test the day they return, unless they had an excused absence for 2 or more consecutive days of instruction. And then lastly, your grade that you receive in this class will be averaged into your high school grade point average. So it's going to show up on your high school transcript. So this class is definitely going to be a class that you want to take seriously, because whatever grade that you get in this class will show up on your high school transcript. Students receiving an A or a B for their semester's grades will be given 1 bonus point to count towards their GPA. So for example, if you receive an A, it's actually going to act like a super A on your grade point average. It's still going to show up as an A on your transcript, but your grade point average is what would be affected. If you receive a B, the B will show up on your transcript, but your grade point average, it would be reflected kind of as an A. And then if you get a C or lower, you do not receive that bonus point. So what's expected of my learners? I want you to take detailed notes over every lesson. I want you to complete the formatives with integrity during group work and individual work. And I don't want you to rush. I want you to take your time. I don't want you to be afraid of making mistakes, because you can learn from those mistakes and that will only help you in the future. I want you to communicate with the teacher, advocate for yourself, be honest. You may work together, but there's a difference between working together and giving out answers, and we kind of already talked about that in this presentation. And then I want you to spend at least 30 minutes on geometry every night, whether that's finishing up the work that you had or studying. What can you expect from me? You can expect me to have high expectations of you. You are all in my class for a reason, and I will not tolerate laziness. I'm going to answer your questions and guide you towards success. I'm going to communicate with you frequently and encourage you and help you when you ask questions. What is expected of my guardians? I want you to celebrate growth over grades and encourage your student to foster a growth mindset. I want you to check in with your student every night. If your student's having issues managing their time, help them set up a schedule for themselves and help them set alarms to alert them of when they can be done with math. We suggest that your student spends at least 30 minutes on math every night. I want you to check over their notes and see what your student's working on. If your student has questions, encourage them to approach the teacher and/or email me. But I want your student to email me. I do not want you to email me. These students need to learn how to advocate for themselves. If your student is doing well and doesn't have any issues working on math, you can try a more hands-off approach instead of checking over their work. And I want you to keep the lines of communication open. And then check any